Okay, that's set up. That's good. Okay, I think I did it. All right. Oof. Okay, so I don't know. The game's feeling pretty dry right now, honestly. I don't even know what to say. I'm gonna be so bad at this right now. Dark Souls is easily one of my favorite game series. And Dark Souls 3 is my favorite one of them. I prefer 3 over Elden Ring because 3 is more linear. And for whatever reason, I just prefer the linearity of it all. I think part of what... How do I jump again? I think part of what I liked about Dark Souls was like you could kind of master it and like know where everything was. And Elden Ring is just too big for that. Like it's a puzzle kind of that needs to be solved. Dark Souls is, and then once you solve it, I don't know, I just like it. I like being able to master it. Try this jump one more time. I don't think there's anything here that's really important. I just can't remember where the jump is. I did it. Oh, okay, fine, one more time. I think there's one more thing down here I forgot as well. Okay, I'm there. That's it. I'm not even sure if I jumped. Aha, yes, the first, like... Oh! Well, that's super useful. So I am gonna slot somehow? How do I... Okay. My fire bombs, but I'm not going to use them this time. I'm gonna wait until... Unless I'm like really close to beating it, and then I can use them. I might be able to one-shot this guy, but I have a feeling I'm not going to. Hoping I can do it in two though. Does this do anything? I don't think it does. Oh, it does. This guy either does 1 or 2 or 3 attacks. And you can kind of tell because he comes back to rest in a different way. Ouch. And then there's that one every once in a while. That's a good one. Yeah, we'll see. I'll pop this Estus. I should just use the bombs. Because he is pretty close to dead. I wonder if we'll get invaded. Is this where I came from? No. For some reason, I keep thinking I see something over there. Like, I kind of want to beat this game because I love how it ends. I just love everything about it. Like, sometimes I'll revisit old games and I'll play them for a bit and then I'll stop, right? But, like, I was hoping there'd be, like, a save file where I was already, like, halfway through. I have to promise myself this time I play that if I get to, like, the cathedral, that I actually beat it. Like, I don't stop. Dude, 60 gut rip is... It depends on, like, I don't know. There's definitely a culture in Age of Sigmar where you are expected to have models painted on the table. You know what I mean? Like, some tournaments insist on it and others don't. But, like, for the one that I'm part of that we run, you can play if you don't have your stuff painted, but you are limited in your prizes. It's like all the best prizes are limited to people who have armies that are painted. So it's an incentive. It's like, go ahead, 3D print your meta nonsense and bring it. But if you do, like, you're not, like, sure. You know what I mean? So I guess my point is it kind of depends on what your own standards and what the tournament expectations are for what painted means. Because you can always just get a few colors and then just go from there, right? Like I have 10 gut rippers on my table. No, I have 20 gut rippers. Yeah, I have 20 gut rippers on my table right now that I don't want to paint. So there's a jump over here somewhere, I think. Yeah, I love Dark Souls. I think I have to go up somewhere first, though, don't I? Because it's not this tree. It's been a while since I've played this game, I guess. Monster Mash, I think, is tough, I guess. Yeah, but like solid is arbitrary of a word. Do you know what I mean? Like what is a solid list? Like if you had to use like you know, like a bell curve, right? So the middle of the bell curve is like 3, right? And then 5 is like the top, you know, 2 standard deviations, right? Infantry does give you a lot of options. It's just like you can move so many things around. I don't know. Monster Mash with lots of with some shooting and some seems fine. Jesus. I played Iron Jaws last night against a friend who was playing like a really aggressive Sylvaneth list with like, you know, Belthanos, Alariel, 6-pack of bugs, and some casters and stuff, but and Drycha. Super cool. I love that she comes out of the terrain. It's badass. God, this is not going well. Run. Okay. Oh my god, he just did to me what I was trying to do to him. I like combined arms. It's just my playstyle. Like, it's fun to like play weird, crazy slanted lists. Like playing the Big Pig Army of Renown, for example, with like all big pigs. Or playing like 60 Cat Rippas, or playing like what else? What else do I play that's really spammy? I'll play like tons of squigs and bounders, like just an absurd amount of them. But like I like a little bit of shooting and some fast flankers and some anvils and hammers. And so I played Iron Jaws last night, right, against that Alario list, and yeah, I just got smashed. Absolutely just wrecked. So I'm going to play more of a castle style, because that's way more my style. And give that a try next. What kind of build should I go for in this game? That's a really good question. I've already been here. I need like an elevator or something, I think. Yeah, I'm just over this season, honestly. I kind of am done with tactics, and some different maps would be nice, but I don't really care about the maps so much. They're all kind of the same at the end, I think. This map pool for this season was good. Nothing was like really offensive. Only one map needed to be banned. It's a good mix. I think the new Sylvaneth is good. I think the stats are going to... I think... how do I explain this? Sylvaneth has always been an incredibly popular army, right? It's always been like one of those armies that like everybody has. It's like Gits, right? Everybody has a Gits army. Everybody has a Sylvaneth army. So the stats are going to be like, oh, it's going to win a ton, but I'm thinking it's more like it's good and everybody's playing it. Scourge of Iron was good. Yes, everything got good stuff, I agree. The Nash Tooth, I hope, gets folded into our rules. And I don't know what Cruel Boys are going to do without ganging up. The Nash Tooth is like just a fun war scroll. But like, I don't know, like it looks fun and fair, I want to say. Like it's obviously strong, but I don't think it's like overpowered. Just happened. It's hard though. I hope that they, even if they don't do it, like, even if I don't get to keep it now, it's like when I get a new book, do you know what I mean? I want the Soggy Gnashtooth. It's like just such an easy win, right? To be like, oh, like they didn't have it for a while and then they got it back. Can't remember what the magic levels are for this in this game. But they look fun though. Still enough looks fun. Like, I don't know. I feel like sometimes they're just not gonna wear you down properly. Like, sometimes they're gonna feel really strong, and then other times they're going to just have no teeth and not be able to score, and then you just like outscore them because you're sitting on, like, that's what I tried to do last night. It just didn't work. So, and I think people will kind of figure them out, and again, because they're so popular and lots of people play them, I think that that'll just kind of happen. They're probably done writing the new edition. You think that it'll be like that? Like scenery will be key just like in 40K? That's an interesting thought. I wonder what that feels like. Just get rid of objectives and it's all about terrain. Isn't that just the same thing? Right. All right. Maybe now I can go fight this guy. It's an interesting idea. Like, the idea of standing on circles is, like, super arbitrary and contrived. It does break the narrative. It is a game, right? But, like, it does change the way that the game feels. Like, go to, like, all tactics. Just gotta parry. I just gotta learn to parry this guy. God damn it. I give up. I like the idea. A friend of mine had a really good idea. He said that the way that the battle tactic cards should work is that you still have two, but they're like, you know, A and B or 1 and 2 or something, and you build your own battle tactic cards. So like, let's say there's 10 cards like that have, you know, tactics on the tactics cards, right? And then you have 2 like personal cards, general cards, and then you have to pick like 1 for each card, level 1, 1 level 2, and 1 level 3. So you can build them according to what you want. Like, if you're winning the game and your plan is going the way that you want. Like for Iron Jaws, it would be something like, oh, like have like 4 or more units run in a turn. You know what I mean? Like, just stuff like that. That's like, okay, that's what I want to do anyway, right? And so, yeah, then you can like interrupt like denying your opponent tactics is like interrupting the things they want to be doing anyway. So it's like this weird thing. It's like, well, if I pin the Iron Jaws player, he doesn't get their tactics, but like an Iron Jaws player would hate to be pinned, right? It's like, it's actually how you win the game, both in points, but also in, like how the game is played. But I thought it was genius. I'm like, if this friend of mine's been playing Warhammer for a really long time, but I said to him that if that like worked, like if it worked, it would be like amazing. If it worked. It's tough to say if that would be the case or not, but. Ouch. But yeah, like, I don't know. It's like, oh yeah, the Magic Dom army didn't successfully cast 3 spells. They didn't get their tier 1 tactic. Right? So I place my wizards really aggressively forward and do you know what I mean? Like, it's like, I'm gonna deny your magic. God, I miss Gobsprak. Gobsprak was probably like the #1 best interaction with those dice from that season. Yeah, weave it into the, yeah, so like and your card is part of list building. It's weird also because you have to like think about how your army works in that sense, right? It's like, well, like what, like it forces a player, let's say a new player, oh, I'm gonna die, or an inexperienced player to consider the idea of like, well, what is my army doing over 5 rounds? Like, how am I actually winning this game by moving around the battlefield and like doing stuff? And then it's like, you don't even need primaries at that point. It's like, well, what are we doing? Well, we're running forward. Well, we're casting spells. Well, we're, right? And then the third tactics, like the final ones, would be like really, really, really hard to achieve. Like, we sort of brainstormed some just for fun, but it was like, they have to be like basically impossible. So it's like everyone's scoring like 4, or maybe you have like more tiers. But if you can score your last ones, it's like a huge advantage. So it sort of comes down to like the middle ones most of the time. Oops, that was the wrong way I just rolled. Anyway, I thought it was a great idea. Pretty sure there's a claymore over here. I think you're supposed to run up there when you first get here. I'll come back later. Cruel Boys just need something that's quote-unquote tanky, not actually tanky, but quote-unquote tanky. Like, just hard to kill. So that we can have something on the flank. Have you played Dark Souls 3 before? Is there a Regiment of Renown for Gruntas? No, just for the 2 big pigs. If I said Regiment of Renown, I meant to say Army of Renown. You've never seen Dark Souls 3. Are you familiar with like Dark Souls as a franchise? This should be a Regiment of Renown for Gorgruntas. Gotta be careful with that, though. If there was a Regiment of Renown for Gorgruntas, you would take them in Cruel Boys as an auto-include. Diablo? No way. I mean, Diablo is ARPG, right? Dark Souls is a Souls-like, LOL. It's very difficult and punishing and slow and methodical. And death is difficult. Yeah. Well, I was saying, like, you need... That's what Cruel Boys needs, is, like, some kind of tanky, like, cavalry, or, like, flanker. Right? So that it doesn't just have things, like, running up into your wizards and shooting, right? Like, that's another big problem of having lots of shooting in Cruel Boys, is that the more shooting you have, the less you have that's in front of shooting. And Hobgrots are bad. So if Hobgrots were good, you could play a lot more shooting, but you can't. So, and they're slow, right? But at least they can cover the flanks and just die. Right? At least they can just get in the way of something for a turn. Like, that's what I needed last night. Something else bad happens here. I can't remember what, though. Oh, I think I remember it. And I gotta kill it, too. Like, the Big Pig Regiment of Renown is very good in a Cruel Boys Monster Mash list. I would say that if we were serious about a Monster Mash list in Cruel Boys, that you auto-include a Kragnos and 2 Big Pigs. If we're, like, making the most competitive thing we can. And now you have 3d6 charge, and you also have 2 sources of Strike Last. Just kidding, 3 sources of Strike Last, because you're also including a unit of Monster Killers, at least. Ouch. I'm not dying to this thing. Oops. I'm not dying to this thing. Ouch. I gotta untarget it. It's the same mistake I made last time. Lucky with your like 1 HP. But yeah, like that's what they need. And they need to continue to have ways of dealing damage because, like, so here's the thing, right? So what do Cruel Boys as an army, if we were to look at, this is a great video idea, by the way. I should just do this right now. Let's see. Let's just exit out of this. Okay. What are all the things that you can that you can have? You can have like survivability, magic, and prayers. You can have mobility. You can have damage. What else? What are some other things? Let's just call them tricks. So these are all the things like strike first, strike last, and how strong they are. Bottle Sanchez's RV renowned in a game. When you say Mire Brute, do you mean the Break-a-Boss? Or do you mean like how he could... That's what you mean, right? With the... Yeah. That's pretty awesome. Rabble Rouser is a sleeper, dude. Rabble Rouser is really good. Rabble Rouser is very good. Run and charge is really strong. Like being able to add 6 inches to your move, right, is a lot. Like if you're a big pig and you go from 10 to 16, that's a huge increase. Yeah, that's fantastic. I love that. Is that what's in your list for what this thing that you're doing? Like, so like I would call that like a trick. Or I'd call that mobility, actually. Survivability, magic, and prayers. Mobility, damage, and tricks. What else is there? That's kind of it, right? So we're going to rate them out of 5. So survivability, are we actually a 1? Is Cruel Boys a 1? 5-up saves. Basically no built-in wards anywhere. 4-up saves on our good stuff. Not particularly high health. Scouts would be stronger that way for sure. Yeah, they're not on the... Yeah. I'm glad they did that, though. I'm glad that they nerfed that. It would have been like, oh, like, some armies just auto-get it all the time. It would have been, like, really busted. Magic and prayers for Cruel Boys. I'm going to say out of 5, I'm going to say, like, a 4. Because I think that the +3 to cast, or +2 to cast and pray, and well, we have no prayers. And the consistency of that, and the fact that we have good manifestations, and -1 attacks is a good spell. I'm probably undercasting that, honestly. I should probably cast that more often. It's probably an error in my play. It's just a very good spell. Mobility, 3 out of 5. The vultures don't count because they have big bases and they just die if they're mobile like that. We do have access to Kragnos, but Kragnos is bad in our army. Our Sludge Rakers aren't particularly quick. The Break-a-Boss isn't particularly quick. We do have a teleporting Gnash Tooth, and we do have some run and charge for infantry. So we're not like immobile. We're not like a really immobile, slow army. Like Iron Jaws is a lot slower. We also do have some teleporting, which can matter. Like it is a trick in the book. Damage, right now we're actually pretty strong for damage. Right? Yeah, he does. Like he's an auto include. Like if you're not playing a Marsh Crawler, it's because you're not playing any Gut Rippers. But as soon as you have one, it's like, ugh. I'm thinking of a doubles list. Kragnos and it's 100,000 points doubles list. Kragnos and the De Hertland Hogs Regiment of Renown is 1,010 points. If it was exactly 1,000 points or a little bit under, I would take it and it would be my Cruel Boys army, and I would have a strike last on a 3-up or whatever, on a 2-up and then a 3-up anywhere on the board. And I would just be like, yep, that's my army. Just dirty tricks are the best rules. Like, maybe into all of Destruction. Dirty tricks are the best battle formations anywhere in Destruction. The Iron Jaw Mighty Destroyers is really good, but like I just think that the Strike Last is better. And then tricks, probably 4 out of 5. Right, we do have like Strike Last. We have Monster Killers are really tricky. So it's like we do have some things here. Dude, I got a video idea for you. Where is that fucking guy? Let's see. Content creators. Hey. So I don't know. Like, this is what Cruel Boys need, is some survivability. We do have some save stacking. We have some once per game 5-up board, but what we need is something that can just get in the way and like prevent the Godrippus from dying. And it needs to be fairly fast. Like a 9 or a 10-inch move Gnash Tooth pup pack that just gets to like leave combat. Like if it just had the same rule that the Gnash Tooth has, where it's like at the beginning of combat I can just leave. Like that would be amazing. That would be so good. It's like, oh, it just dances around on the flanks, and when you touch it, it's just like, on a 3-up, I'm leaving. And then it's like, boop, I leave. Like, Hobgrots riding baby, or like regular dogs, like Nashtooth dogs. And they can run and throw bombs, just like they used to be able to do. 3-3-1-1 attack profile, and the Grot doesn't get an attack profile. It's just the dog that fights, and the Grot throws a grenade, but it has shooting combat. And on a 3-up, it dances away. 5-up save, 3 health per model, 40mm base. There's your War Scroll. How many attacks? 2 attacks, I'd say. But like GW doesn't work that way, right? I don't know. Let's see. You should do a strike last video, and we'll leave it at that. Let's see what he says. Do Iron Jaws take at least 1 Gore Grunt unit? Sorry, politics, I didn't see you there. Got lost in the thing. No. Yes. I mean, probably. For me, in any Iron Jaws list that I make, it's really hard for me not to take a Gouger and 3 Little Pigs. They're just on the flanks. Like, I tried, like, a 30 Brutes list with no cavalry, and it just felt bad. I'm gonna do the for me personally, I think that the Weird Fist list for Ardboys or for Iron Jaws is gonna be better for me. Gotta do some number crunching too. Yeah, we have no survivability. So if we want to be a better army, we just need more survivability. That'll do it. Let's see. Yeah, I'm gonna take the break from this, I think, for a bit. Okay. Pokemon. Iron Jaws, Ard Boys, and Brutes. Should we compare all the infantry? Nah. Okay, add a unit. So we're gonna go with 5, I guess. That makes sense, right? Yeah. Number of attacks 3, 4, 3, 1. Oops, 1, 2. And then no, we do have a leader bonus. And nothing else. Yeah, dude, take care. Have a good one. Thanks for hanging out. Can I just duplicate this? Five models, 3 attacks, 4s and 3s. Oh, I can roll these all together, can't I? I can. 2 rends and 3 damage. But no leader bonus. And it's only 1 model. And then this is only 4 models. It's not 5. 4 models and 1. Okay. Let's see if our numbers are correct with what we already have in our spreadsheet. Yes, they are. Everything is looking good so far. Okay, so versus infantry. So then this is versus infantry. +1 attacks versus infantry. This is so much. So what if it's +1 attacks? Just +1 attacks. Because we're also interested in differences here. So this is +1 attack. How do I not have it be that? What did I do here? Oh, it's a bracket for a little thing first. +1 attack. And then copy this over. So +1 attack versus infantry. Versus infantry. +1 attack versus infantry. +1 to hit and attack versus infantry. So let's back up here. We're not going to say it's against infantry. Something's wrong. No, I just did +1 attacks. That's what I did. So we're back to default. But now we're going to have crit mortals. Mortal wounds to hit on a 6, deal 2 mortal wounds. And then mortal wounds to hit on a 6, 3 mortal wounds. Boop. So this is just mortals. Okay, so these are all like other kinds of things. So obviously the crit mortals is better. The +1 attacks is better. And the mortals is best. We also need crit 2 hits instead of crit mortals. So we're just gonna add exploding to hit. On a 6 is 1 extra attack. And then exploding to hit on a 6 is 1 extra hit. This one's probably... because we do actually kind of have that now. Man, there's lots of buffs we can put on our stuff. And then we also have, in addition to this, we also have +1 damage more reliably now. Like, I didn't even have the math for this because it just never mattered. +1, oops. +1 damage. Oof. So is the best +1 damage and crit mortals? Right? It's like adding them in combinations backwards. Because this is all assuming it's not infantry. But I wonder how they scale. Like, I wonder what this is at 3 rend and at 2 rend. Right, it sort of moves you up the scale. Right? Everything gets bumped 1 category. So that's what Ren does. Ren makes it a worse save. Right? That's all it's going to do. That's an interesting way to think about it. Except for crit mortals. I wonder how it affects it with mortals. So if we go like... add a modifier, mortal wounds, to hit... 4 mortal wounds, because this is both. This is the damage as well. This is with crits. The extra damage. To hit on a 6 is 3 mortal wounds. No, because we're only talking about the rend. I don't know what we're... No, because now it's both, I think. So, might as well save these. So this is mortals plus 1 damage plus 1 rend. So this is +1 attack rend. +1 to hit, +1 attack, and +1 rend. And don't care about +1 to hit because, and then +1 to hit just makes this all better. Hit, attack, and rend. I wonder what the greatest one is. Probably what I have. More damage and rend. No, the rend. Well, the damage and the mortals, and then it would be attack. Attacks go to 4. This is attack, damage, rend, and mortals. This is 4 buffs. Whew. So my question was like, does the rend, is it worse with mortals? It's like, yes, of course it is. Right, that's more damage and rend. I must have just had mortals and damage. This is a crazy graph, by the way. What, like, I wonder. Mortals attack, like, the numbers are ridiculously high. And this is only 5 of them, by the way. This almost gets doubled. Going from like 8.25 damage to 24 damage. Almost tripling how much damage we're doing. Okay, so So 10 models with 2 attacks. Oops. I gotta yell at my dogs for a sec. 1 sec. 2 attacks, 4s, 3s, 1, 1, and a leader bonus. Attacks confirmed. Let's make sure the numbers are the same as what I have before. They are not the same as what I have before. 10 models, 2 attacks, 4s and 3s. One sec. Oh God. Ten models, 2 attacks, 4s and 3s, 1 rend, 1 damage with a leader bonus. So the numbers are half. Why is my math so bad? It must be 20. If I change this to 20, does it match? It's probably an easy way to figure it out. 4.56. It's still different. What if I delete the leader bonus? No, it's a little bit under. How did I get to these numbers? 4s and 3s, 1 rend, 1 damage. Leader bonus. I bet you it's this. Extra rend? Nope. What's your list, Mr. Average Hellsmith? What are you actually playing? 4s and 3s, 1 rend, 1 damage. Alright, well, I guess these are my numbers. Okay, let's just copy this over. Crazy. That makes sense, I guess. Okay, so then what if they have an extra rent? And let's do it in the same order. Oh no, I'm doing this in the wrong place, but I'm glad I did this over here as well. Okay, revert the rend. +1 attacks. Get rid of the +1 attacks and go to, what was the next one? Oh no! Exploding. So 2 attacks, but then exploding. And then instead of exploding, it's mortal wounds. And then instead of mortal wounds, it's damage. It'll probably work out to be the same, I bet, just in terms of like which ones are the best. Straighten out this bad boy. Copy, 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 copy. No. Scum, 2 bolt boys, 2 kill bows, 2 kill a boss on foot. Ugh. Swamp shaman. Egomaniac and Staff Break, which mean 3 times Sin, Hobgods, Attuned Master, and 2 Reinforced God Rippets, of course. Scumdrack, Bolt Boys, Killbow. Only thing I really don't like is they kill the boss on foot. I'd also throw the Ego on the Break a boss. He's so unkillable if you do that and just march him forward. It's the only little tweaks I'd make. If it's 2 kill boss on foot, I bet you it's better if it's just another 1 shaman. I also don't see a unit of monster killers. That would be really good too. Monster killers. Yeah, have fun. Should be a good time. Cruel boys are the best. So the difference. +1 attacks is a much better buff on hard boys than it is on brutes. 200 is cheap. Just remember to, like, your strike last is so important. That dirty trick. So save your resources for that. Don't be afraid to put your tower like more aggressively forward with like a little foot hero in it. And like when you put your tower down, make sure that you're like thinking about like what objectives they cover. Put it in a good like spot, like a little bit further forward, and then try. You can, if like the only tricks that you should use are venom encrusted weapons and the strike last. So you should have 3 dirty tricks. So if you're lucky, it's free, 1 up, or sorry, 2 up, 3 up if you're lucky. But saving your strike last for like, and only using strike last is also legitimately good. Hmm. 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 List building is so hard. Hmm. What's the AOS? 5th rumor. About which rumor are you referring to? Heard a few. Interesting. Oh yeah, like personally, like do whatever you want with the narrative. Like it's fine. Like I don't care what you do with the narrative. Kill Sigmar, that's fine. Like the Emperor's dead, so Sigmar should be dead too. I don't know anything about the big changes. Like I've heard that like people have been speculating about how it'll be more about controlling terrain. Which is the same thing. Like if it's like, ooh, it's a 40mm base. Okay, well, instead of it's a 40mm base, it's like a smaller like statue kind of thing. It's like maybe 60 to 70mm, and it's not totally round, it's irregular, but it's essentially round or square or right. It's like, well, okay, sure. Same thing. You can't stand directly on it, maybe. Like, whatever. I haven't heard like a ton. I try not to talk about rumors. Not, sorry, I shouldn't say I try not to. I should say I don't. Generally, on YouTube videos anyway. I'm not really a big rumor guy. Yeah, there's only one way to get Ardboys extra attacks, I think. Gotcha. Number 3. That's such a stupid Twitch thing. Or a YouTube thing. You shall be promoted to number 2. Yeah, I don't know. This season's kind of over for me, I feel. I wonder which scale's better. Mortals, attacks, damage rend. Mortals, damage, attacks. So it's 1, 2, 3, 4. So this is all of them. So I'm just going to stick it here. So for Ardboys, what's going to be the best? It's going to be extra attacks, extra rend, extra damage. With mortals. This can't be right. Oh. No, this is only 10 models. This is only 5 models, though. So this is doubled, and this is doubled. But they're both doubled. 10 models, 3 attacks each, 4s and 3s, 2 rend, 2 damage. That's a modifier. With mortal wounds and a leader bonus. That is what that is. Are Ardboys dealing as much damage as brutes? With all the buffs? I mean, this is mortals, attacks, damage, and rend. Two rend, 2 damage, right? Because they're 1 and 1, so it's 2 and 2. 3 attacks plus 1 attack. So it's like 3 attacks each versus 4 attacks each. And then a lot of it's just mortals. But this rend is only if you're charged. But it's like, it doesn't matter all that much, because if we cut the rend down to 1, how much damage are we really losing? Because rend is the smallest in the priority pool. So it's like we're losing, like, you know, a damage and a half kind of thing. It's like not a huge deal. It is like, you know, some, like if it's not infantry for not being charged. So is that even a more, yeah, like whatever. It's the same damage thing. It's because of this. It's a lot. And then they also deal shield bash. So this is 10 of them. So it's 10 5-ups. So it's another 3.33 damage. So is it actually more? I have a hard time believing this. So it's 4 models at, this is with everything. So it's 4 attacks, 4s and 3s, 2 rend because it's everything, and 3 damage. 4s and 3s, 2 rend, 3 damage. And then this has a mortal wounds to hit and a leader bonus of attacks. 1 extra attack, 1 leader. 4 models, 4s, 4 attacks, 4s and 3s, 2 rend, 3 damage. Cool. And then the other profile is 1 model, 4s, 3s, 3, 4, because it's with everything, and then with mortal wounds, crit mortals, deals 4 mortal wounds. Boom. So this should be the same as this. It's not. Why? I just suck at this. 4 attacks each, 4s and 3s. 2 rend, 3 rend, 3, 4. There's just no way, though. What the hell? Where did these old numbers comes from? Rend, attacks, mortals, and damage. One model, 4 attacks, 4s and 3s, 3 rend, 4 damage. Yeah, from an infantry, 3 rend, 4 damage is kind of nutty. God, I'm so bad at this. No, I'm not going to dabble in trees. I'm just learning about other armies. I don't, like, I just want to know how they play and what's good and how they work, and I want to build a couple lists. And so a bunch of my friends play Sylvaneth, so I was also like helping them out, like learning how to manage the, like, what the army's about and stuff. Man, I'm having a hard time right here because it looks to me like Ardboys are dealing more damage than brutes. But it's like there's no way. This is supposed to be 2 rend. I'm really struggling here. Like something's wrong and I don't know what it is. That's 30 attacks. That's 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. It's a lot more attacks. There it is. Found it. Now the numbers should match. Nope, they're a third set of numbers. Oh my god, I'm so bad at this game. Now it's identical. I don't understand. It's like, I don't get it. There's no way. Oh. I'm just... Oh my god. Now it's the same. Oh my god. So that was the hardest thing I've ever had to do. So it is the same. Why are Ardboys dealing as much damage as brutes? I don't understand. This is really hard for me. This is wild. I need a second opinion. Get out of here. Ten models, 3 attacks is 30 attacks. 4 times 4 is 16, plus 4 is 20. Then why ever play brutes? Like, then play brutes and 5s and throw them on 2 objectives after the Ardboys go in and grind for a while. The brutes can step in and finish off the thing and use Ardboys as a huge screen. Whoa, too much static. Like, I have a list, but it's like, I need to go wireless. Shit. Yeah, it's crazy. Like, just wild. That's a good boy. That's a good boy. Crazy. Well, can't wait to play Ard Boys, I guess. This is the real difference. It's this effective HP. Right? You're doing Ard Boys versus Brute, so you're doing this versus this. 72 versus 45 effective HP. That's the difference. So it's 45 health per 100 points to 28 points per 100 points. That's the real difference between them and these versions. Oh, I gotta take a piss so bad. Be right back. Crazy. I've been sitting here at my computer messing around with some numbers that I wanted to share with you. Let's compare Brutes versus Ardboys. I think you're going to be surprised. But first, thank to all my patrons. Wiberian, Baron of Dice, why not? Let's see. Okay, so here's some maths. So I was comparing some damage numbers between Brutes and Ardboys. So this is 10 Ardboys versus 5 Brutes. They are both the same points cost, so you can see their breakdown of damage per 100 points. By the way, patrons get access to all this information. So if you are a patron that has accessed this already, I've updated some stuff, and if you're not, then you should definitely come check it out. Besides that, I don't plug Patreon very often. Besides that, one other thing I offer to patrons is sitting down in like TTS or like going over lists in detail and just kind of like talking about like how to, you know, improve overall like strats and stuff like this. I sometimes make videos about it. So if you want to, you know, come and hang out and, you know, get some tips or whatever if you're a new player, TTS is particularly good for this. Hit me up, let me know. Okay, so Ardboys versus Brutes. So they both have a rend mechanic, right? So the Ardboys is anti-charge +1 rend, and Brutes are anti-infantry, so the anti-infantry is going to come up far more often. What I've done is I've taken their crit 2 hits, or exploding 6s, also called, crit mortals from Zogrock. +1 attacks, we get this just from the Wa, right, where we get +1 attacks, and then +1 damage from the War Chanter. And then here at the end, I did mortals plus attacks, +1 damage, and +1 rend, because it's the best possible combination. I didn't include all-out attack in any of this, because it's kind of irrelevant to the conversation, right? Like, because it's not like a buff that we're putting on stuff. I don't know, I just decided not to, I guess. So, I should probably add it in, though. So, what are we seeing? So the Brutes at the very low level, like when we're talking about them just being naked, are dealing quite a bit more damage. So against a 4-up save, we're going from about 4.5 for the Ardboys to about 8.25 from the Brutes, or just under 3 damage per 100 points for the Ardboys, and 5.1 damage per 100 points for the Brutes. So quite a big difference in just the actual damage that these units are putting out. The Rend is a relatively small increase for the Ardboys and a relatively small increase for the Brutes. It is about this. It's like they're kind of similar, and they're like the worst buff, right? They are the worst buff that we can kind of get. They do better with exploding 6s than with mortal wounds, is something to think about too. So you're getting more out of that. So if you're going into your preferred target, exploding 6s is a little bit not better than mortals, but is better compared to mortals. So then exploding 6s are actually the next buff that's the best on the Ardboys, but on Brutes it's +1 attacks, which is interesting, because again we're still at the low end here. And then mortals is the next one for Ardboys, but exploding 6s is the next one for Brutes. Because, and the reason that all this is different is because for the Ardboys, +1 attacks is significantly better on the Ardboys than the Brutes. In fact, this +1 attack is the real difference between these two units, is the big one. Like the way that the buffs line up, it's all the same across the board, except for +1 attacks is higher than mortals for Ardboys. So the reason that this is because the Ardboys have far more models, and they also have fewer attacks. So the difference between 2 attacks to 3 attacks is a 50% increase, but going from 3 attacks to 4 attacks is a smaller percentage increase. So it's a better buff on more models. And then the +1 damage is the best buff for both. But the thing that's really interesting is that if you stack all of these buffs onto the same units, and these are just 10 versus 5 Brutes, right? That the damage it actually gets really, really close. And again, the reason is because +1 attacks being so good on the Ardboys compared to the Brutes, and then mortals are going to be like, sorry, I'm explaining myself for a while. Let me start this again. Sorry. So the combination that we're seeing is, it's like mortal wound damage. Obviously, mortal wounds are the best, most aggressive, most damage dealing form of damage that you can deal, right? It's like the best, right? So getting extra damage and extra mortal wounds is really good, but the rend almost doesn't matter, right? Because we're not dealing a lot of the damage with with Rend, right? Where Rend is losing out, and we also can't have exploding sixes at the same time. But because like it's about the volume of dice with mortal wounds, we're like I said, we're getting 50% more dice with the Ardboys. So the damage actually gets a lot closer. And it's this exact same thing with damage, right? Going from 1 damage to 2 damage is different than going from 2 damage to 3 damage and from 3 damage to 4 damage, especially because it's just one model, right? With that 3 damage attack there. So I don't know, like if you do get all your buffs off, and let's be honest, we're probably not playing mortals here. We're probably not playing Zogrok, although I don't know. Like, it is a lot. Like, it's a lot of damage. So I don't know. It's just interesting to think about, So they kind of approach, right? They kind of approach each other in terms of how much damage that they deal. If instead of mortal wounds, if instead I wanted to add exploding sixes, it's going to be, let's see, we're getting rid of mortals because if it's expensive, that's the problem, right? If we play Zogrok, it's like, yeah, it's expensive. So this is for the, but we're definitely playing the War Chanter, and we're already playing a weird knob, or sorry, yeah. So it's like, right? It's not a huge, it's no additional investment, right? But the mortal wounds is an additional investment. So this might be where a big difference actually lies. Oops, forgot to do that. So this is not mortals, but it's exploding and not mortals. Let's compare these. It's going to be worse, right? Obviously, the damage is going to go down. Or is it? I'll have to, yeah. I'll have to check it out in a little bit more detail later. Interesting. Okay, let's check these stats out again. I paused my video, by the way, if anyone's watching. Probably not. Nope. Okay. 4s and 3s, 2 rend, 2 damage, exploding, 1 extra hit. Yeah. And same thing here. Oh no, this one didn't get changed. Boop. What is this? This is brutes. Oh, sorry about the peeps. I'm turning my thing back on. I can't remember where it is. Where is streamer mode? Where is it? I guess I can just ask. Where can I enable streamer mode in Discord? What? Is it really? Am I just... I don't see it here. There it is. Appearance. It's dumb. So what does this mean? Okay, so I had to pause the video and look at it a little bit further because I was surprised with what I saw. So it's looking like overall exploding sixes is dealing more damage than the mortals for both the Ardboys and the brutes, particularly against bad saves, right? So they kind of even out around a, for the Ardboys, about a 4-up save, and for the brutes about a 3-up save, just because they have more rend, and rend and damage are being calculated in this equation. So exploding is actually pretty good, right? Because multiplying hits is good in a unit that everything after that is strong, right? Like low to wound, 3-up is fine, right? 3-up to wound is fine. And like high rend, right? Like, so mortals is going to be better if you have 0 rend, like gut rip is, for example, high volume of attacks, right? But for our Iron Jaws, it looks like exploding sixes isn't better, because it's better to be able to deal the mortal wounds to high save targets. Like, it is still strictly better, but it's still solid. It's still like a very good buff, and better against 4-up saves and worse in Ardboys, and yeah, 4-up saves and better with brutes as well. So interesting, you know? I don't know. It's they deal a lot of damage. The real so like they're pretty close in damage. So another a couple of caveats here that you have to mention is, one, that you're going to have a lot easier time getting 10 brutes into combat rather than 20 Ardboys. That's true. The Ardboys do have a smaller base, which is helpful. But and then the other, so the brutes edge out a little bit in that way when it just comes to sheer combat damage. And then 2, the Ardboys, they have their shield bash ability. So with 10 of them, you're gonna add about 3.33 damage. So if you can get all 10 in, right? So even if you have 20 Ardboys, I would still add 3.33 damage in. I probably wouldn't add more than that, just as a damage calculation goes, right? And then also the last third caveat is that both of these are for just like strictly 5, or like a non-reinforced unit. So if you did run 10 Ardboys, right, and buffed them, which you probably wouldn't do, so it's not particularly relevant, I guess. Whew. But here's a big difference. It's how survivable they are. So for obviously Ardboys and brutes, they have a lot in common, right? They have that 3-up save. But Ardboys are gonna have 20 health to the brutes 15, and this is of course with an unreinforced unit. They have the same save. They can both be affected by Weird Fist, and they're both the same points. But the thing is that you're probably not playing Weird Fist with brutes compared to Ardboys. So Ard Boys have 60 effective HP without a ward, and Brutes have 45 effective HP, which puts them quite a bit different in terms of their HP per 100 points. But the real difference comes when you have like a Weird Fist Ard Boy versus a regular Brute. Because when I play Brutes, I'm playing Brute Fist. And if I'm going to play a whole bunch of Ard Boys, I might consider playing Weird Fist. I have a Weird Fist list I'm going to play next, because that's what I want. I'm playing the Cruel Boys Regiment of Renown. So I'm doing what I do with Gits. I'm just adding in some shooting, right? Some anti-monster and some shooting. So I'm going to be playing Weird Fist, because that's what I want the Ard Boys to be doing, is sitting on front and just tanking like a tar pit. So they have 72 effective HP compared to the Brute's 45 effective HP. So it's a significant difference, right? It's quite a bit of a increase. So it's the Ard Boys are 45 effective HP per 100 points, and the Brutes are 28 effective HP. So they're significantly more effective in terms of their survivability. And this is, of course, the Ard Boys with the ward versus Brutes without the ward. So, I mean, I don't know, like, their damage is similar, but their health, their survivability is quite a bit different. Also, don't forget, too, like, it's like, oh, you're going to have a hard time getting 10 Brutes in. Sure, but if you lose 8 Ard Boys, but you lose 4 Brutes, the damage is still going to be, like, better for the Ard Boy unit with losses, because you're not getting everything in. Right? You're not. So, right? So if you get shot and you lose, like, 4 models, right? You lost 8 health. Well, that's almost 3 Brutes. You know what I'm saying? So then it's like, well, okay, right? And then later on in the, like, and even if, like, everything goes, like, okay, right? Like, you're still going to take damage. And so, like, the Ard Boys seem like they are almost better late game, right? Because they can still have, like, models left, while the Brutes are going to be more diminished. Like, it's, I don't know. It's interesting. It's interesting. So, I don't know. I'm going to try some Ard Boys next. Last 2 games I played were Iron Jaws, and they both featured a lot of Brutes. So I'm going to try some Ard Boys next. Throw them under that 6-up ward and see what happens. Anyway, just wanted to share this with you, because I've been obviously making a lot of lists lately with Iron Jaws. Right? Because, like, they're, you know, they obviously are the hot orc army right now, with, like, their changes and everything else. And I have to say, so far it's been pretty good. It's been pretty fun. Been playing my friends Sylvaneth and stuff, so we've been having a good time. Thanks for checking it out. Like, subscribe. Wow. Okay. Oof, oof, oof. Let's get this bad boy uploaded. Brutes versus Ard Boys. Yeah, Ard Boys are way more my style. So we'll do that. Sick. Well, we did it. We did it. Took 2 hours. Cool. I'm going to call it a thing. So for everybody that was hanging out, appreciate you.